for Randy Farrell and the Warhawks. Of course, Arrowhead, some great tradition with Ben and Max Askren. Jake Soufflon wrestled at Nebraska. John Messenbrink, Mitchell Messenbrink's dad, the longtime head coach. Of course, Mitchell Messenbrink was a Warhawk as well. Some great talent has passed through Heartland Arrowhead High School. And for Bayport, a guy that comes to mind, Alec Ingold, NFL football player. He was a state champion at Bayport. Two really good athletic programs. These two met in an absolute classic Division I state championship football game last weekend. And that was won by Arrowhead. Came down to the final play. All right, here we go. 190 pounds. We will kick things off with the Warhawks and the Pirates. FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling. Bayport in the navy and gray singlets. The Warhawks of Arrowhead in the black with the A in red on the back. Devin Veely, a senior for Bayport. 0-1, lost last night. And for Arrowhead here at 190 pounds is Carter Smith, a senior. Carter was a sectional qualifier a year ago. No score, 45 seconds into this first period. A lot of collar ties, head fighting here in the first half of period number one. There's a shot from Smith, but straight on shot right into a front headlock position. And we'll see if Veely can capitalize. Veely began wrestling as an 8th grader. The senior plans on attending NWTC, pursue a career in automotive. Down to 45 seconds as they're out of bounds. No score with Smith and Veely here at 190 pounds. I believe Arrowhead will have a forfeit at heavyweight. Half a minute remaining here in period number one. Of course, short time scoring so big. See if one of these two guys will take a risk, as Smith is able to push Veely towards the edge, and we're back to the center with 22 seconds left. Great to be back at it on this Thursday. FloWrestling Night in America, of course, with Thanksgiving last Thursday. Hope you guys had a great holiday. Right now, Veely is behind, and at 15 seconds left, he scores the takedown. The Pirate leads it 3-0. Short time scoring. It doesn't matter what level of wrestling it is. You want to win tough matches, score late, finish periods on top, and Veely will hook that inside ankle and take a 3-0 lead to the second period. Carter Smith's got the choice. Takes a look at his corner and sees head coach Randy Farrell alongside Newton Smirchek, assistant coach. Randy Farrell, originally from Ohio. He does a ton of stuff for the Wisconsin Wrestling Federation. A lot of time on the road along with coordinator Scott Cleaver. Good breakdown here from Veely. Gets a little bit out of position, able to stay behind the hips. And they wrestle on the edge and out of bounds. There's a stall call on Veely, his first. But that was good awareness there from Veely. Got out of position a little bit, was able to recover, knew exactly where he was on the mat. Gives up that stall call, but gets a restart. He'll take that exchange. And Smith is on the board with an escape. And wasting no time, a shot, but right into the hips of the Bayport Pirates. .124 remaining here in the second period as they wrestle neutral again. Collar ties. First period takedown, a late one from Veely. Oh, nice outside single there from Carter Smith. And now he's going to switch off to a double, turns the corner, and the Warhawk takes the lead. 5-3. It was the second stall call on Veely. So a point for Smith, 5-3, 55 seconds. Smith doing a nice job, has that inside wrist. So 5 unanswered for senior Carter Smith here at 190. Thigh pry up on his shoe tops, putting good pressure on Veely. Good wrestling. Smith gives up the first takedown in the final 15 seconds of the first. Gives up the takedown and the ride out. But a really solid job staying poised, wrestling the next position. And we have ourselves a 1-point match with 30 seconds left in this second period. 5-4 after Veely escapes. Good tight match here to begin this dual meet at 190. I love dual meet wrestling. Been some great dual meets seen right here on FloWrestling this season. A whole lot of great college action again this upcoming weekend. I'll be in Vegas. The Cliff King Invitational. There's another stall call on Veely. Another point for Smith, and it's 6-4, and we'll take that score to the third. Cliff King Invitational in Vegas. All that action live here on Flow. Kicking off tomorrow. Semifinals and finals on Saturday. One of the best individual tournaments in the country. Brad Shevchuk is having a word with the head official. There you see Randy Farrell on your right, Newton Smirchik on your left. Newton was a state champion at Luxembourg-Casco, Wisconsin Power. Then he went on to wrestle at Central Michigan for head coach Tom Borelli. Made the national tournaments. Spent some time with Chris Bono at the Wisconsin Regional Training Center before making his way to Arrowhead. .64 score. Carter Smith looking to give the Warhawks a big win at 190. He fell behind 3-0. He leads it 6-4. Doing a good job on top. Committed to the ride. And skipping away, Devin Veely. It is 6-5. 1:35 remaining here in this third period. Each guy has scored a takedown. Smith continuing to do a really good job moving forward, taking territory. If you are Veely, you got to circle back in. He has given up 2 stall points. That has been the difference in this match. 65 seconds to go here in regulation as both guys drift back center of the mat. And you'll hear me talk about this all the time as well. You got to begin that sprint right now. If you're Devin Veely, you're down by 1. You got to go now. You can't be waiting until there's 10, 15 seconds. That's too late. You got to go now. But once again, he's backing up. He's got to get back inside the circle, and now goes back to the center, but he's only got 30 seconds left. Veely scored a late takedown in the first period. Can he do it again here in the third? And there's a stall call on Veely. That will cost him 2 points. Now it is 8-5 with 16 seconds left. So now Veely needs a takedown and a ride out to force sudden victory. Carter Smith controlled the pace and the tempo. That's the difference. 8-5. Good start to the season for the Warhawks. Carter Smith, the senior, 1-0. And Arrowhead leads it 3-0 as Smith gets the 8-5 decision.
At 215 pounds from Arrowhead,
That late takedown from Veely, and after that it was all Carter Smith. Got a takedown of his own, really good in the top position. And he won that match with his pace, his pressure, and ultimately after giving that takedown up in short time in the first, the perseverance, he gets it done.
I'll let him know every 3 minutes.
215 pounds. Trey Fada, a freshman for Bayport, 0-1. And this is Reese Rymenschneider for the Warhawks. Rymenschneider, a junior for Arrowhead. Fada, a couple of times a state place winner at the WWF Kids State Tournaments. 3-sport athlete at Bayport with football. Says he plays some basketball as well. I'm assuming that's some kind of rec league, or maybe he did it in the past. At any rate, Fada scores the first takedown. So in both matches, we saw Devin Veely at 190 for the Pirates, and now Fada here at 215, getting the first takedown. But as we know in wrestling, in high school, it's a 6-minute match. Mentioned earlier, Alec Ingold, a state champion at Bayport. I'm going back a ways. If I remember right, he was maybe 160 as a freshman. Always impressed when you see some of these young guys come and battle at these upper weights. Majority of the competition, upperclassmen. And a half Nelson and a wrist. Fada in good shape right here. Rymenschneider fighting, but he's going to go over. Fada looking for a fall here in this first period. He's got 10 seconds to work with. This would put the Pirates out in front, and he gets the slap of the man, Trey Fada. I believe this is his first varsity victory in his young career. He gets a fall and 6 for Bayport. And the Pirates take the lead 6-3 after 2 weight classes. Late in this first period.
Jace Fontaine from Bayport will receive a forfeit.
And a forfeit for Bayport at 285. And just like that, it is 12-3 in favor of the Pirates.
106 pounds from Arrowhead.
106 pounds is coming up. Trey Fontaine, a pin for the Pirates at 215. Bayport leads it 12-3. FloWrestling Night in America.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
FloWrestling Night in America presented by Nike Wrestling here inside Homestead High School in Mequon, Wisconsin. The upcoming events here on FloWrestling. The Cliff Keen Invitational in Las Vegas kicking off tomorrow. Semifinals and finals on Saturday. The Journeyman Uncivil War, some fantastic matches there before Christmas. And the Southern Scuffle to kick things off in 2026. Carter Smith got the Warhawks off to a good start with a decision at 190. But Trey Fontaine, the freshman for Bayport at 2:15, gets the first takedown. Does a nice job to get a wrist. Sunk in a half Nelson. And late in the first period, was able to get the fall and 6 points for the Pirates. Bayport takes a 6-3 lead. Then they got a forfeit at 285. So as we turn the page to 106 pounds, Bayport leads it 12-3. A look at the fall here from Fontaine. Great job to sink that half in.
And we are back at 106 pounds from Arrowhead, Caden Gall.
Settles in.
And from Bayport,
And in the final seconds of the first period, gets the 6 for Bayport.
Wrestlers, make sure you report to the table.
So we go from heavyweight to 106. This is Caden Gall, a freshman for Arrowhead, and a freshman for Bayport as well. This is Colton Hamill, a 6-time youth folk style state champ. And Hamill quickly comes out and gets a takedown. In about 6-7 seconds, the Bayport freshman takes a 3-0 lead. Hamill is a 2-time freestyle state champion, a 3-time Greco state champion. Hamill looking to give Bayport its second fall of the night. And Colton Hamill still has 1:20 left in this period. Bayport looks to extend its lead. They lead at 12-3 and looking for 6 more here at 106, and they get it. Colton Hamill, a fall in 50 seconds for the Pirates. 6 at 2:15, 6 at 285, and 6 more here at 106. As Bayport widens the gap and now leads it 18-6. Shane Sparks here in Mequon, Wisconsin. FloWrestling Night in America. Big doubleheader tonight with Bayport and Arrowhead. Stick around. 7 Central. I can't wait. It's the Big Ten and the Pac-12 with Minnesota. The Gophers ranked 11th in the country. Arkansas Little Rock comes in at 14th ranked. Minnesota 4-2 on the season, coming off a loss to South Dakota State. The Trojans 2-2. 7 o'clock Central right here on FloWrestling. Jaden Torres here for the Warhawks, a 3-time state qualifier. He's a senior. And Oliver Shevchik for the Pirates. Shevchik with a single leg. And you see Torres trying to get his hips up. Sit that corner if he can. Good scramble here in the first 35 seconds in this first period. No points yet. And Torres in position to score right here if he can get around the hips. He wants to get underneath that arm. He's able to score the 3. Jaden Torres looking to get momentum back in the favor of Arrowhead. Again, these two teams met at the dual state tournament, team state tournament in Wisconsin. It's a week after the individual state tournaments. And Arrowhead won it by 1. Ultimately fell to Kaukauna, Division I state power here in Wisconsin, led by head coach Jeff Machek. Torres with a cradle, and he's got it tight. Shevchuk able to fight out of it. But the 4 near fall makes it a 7-0 match. In Division I, Kaukauna a heavy favorite once again. Final 10 seconds in this first period. Another cradle. It'll be more near fall or a fall here for Torres. And it will be near fall points. So a takedown and 2 4-point cradles gives the Arrowhead senior Jaden Torres a commanding 11-0 lead. Shevchuk's got the choice. He defers, and Torres wants to stay on his feet. 18-6. Bayport with the lead. We began at 190 pounds. Both these high schools, Arrowhead and Bayport, great athletic programs in their schools. Division I, that's the large school division in Wisconsin. I really like how Shevchuk is competing right here, down 11-0. But I like how he's competing here in the first 30 seconds. When you're down 11-0, that's an easy time to just quit. And he's just a sophomore, still wrestling hard as they're out of bounds. Got to compete. Showing some guts here. Torres with a fake. Shot there from Torres. Hits that corner quickly and scores his second takedown of the match. And now up 14-0. Goes coffee grinder. He has scored 8 points with 2 cradles. A point away from a tech fall. First competition of the season here for Arrowhead. Bayport last night falling to Kyle Kleskins and Nina. The Rockets up near Appleton in the Fox Cities, part of the Fox Valley Association Conference. Same as aforementioned Kaukauna. 30 seconds left, and now Torres looking for an inside cradle. Shevchuk trailed 11-0 after 1, and now it will be a fall or a tech fall. Torres, 15 seconds left, and Shevchuk is able to fight off his back. It's an 18-0 tech fall for Jaden Torres. Good fight there from Shevchuk. Didn't get pinned, saved his team 18 points. And now it is 18-8.
And from Bayport, Riley.
Torres in that match, a couple of takedowns. Ultimately 3 cradles for 12 near fall points. (120 pounds). Mason Moody, freshman for Arrowhead, talented freshman. Member of the 16U Freestyle National Team. Part of the Wisconsin National Team in Fargo as well. Wrestling Riley Holowinski of Bayport, who won last night. He's a sophomore, been wrestling a long time, began when he was 5 years old. His dad was a state runner-up mid-90s in Pulaski. Pulaski, one of the best tournaments in Wisconsin. High school tournament, end of January. They do a great job. And now we got a couple of swipes. So after the first takedown, Moody gets 2 near fall, and now a roll through cradle. And this would be big for Arrowhead. Plenty of time, still 50 seconds left in this first period. 18-8 on the team scoreboard. And it is now 18-14.
Your winner by fall in 1 minute and 24 seconds.
A minute and 24-second fall for Mason Moody. So back-to-back victories, bonus point victories from Torres and Moody. Makes it 18-14. Presented by Nike Wrestling from Homestead High School in Mequon, Wisconsin. This is FloWrestling Night in America.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
After 6 weight classes, Bayport leading Arrowhead 18-14. Presented by Nike Wrestling. It is FloWrestling Night in America. Shane Sparks here inside Homestead High School in Mequon, Wisconsin. Doubleheader. All kinds of great wrestling this weekend. How about tomorrow and Saturday? The Cliff King Invitational in Las Vegas. One of the best individual wrestling tournaments in the country. Cannot wait to get to Vegas. 7 o'clock Central Time tonight. It's Minnesota and Arkansas Little Rock. Juan Torres and Mason Moody. Bonus point victories for the Warhawks at 113 and 120. Has pulled Arrowhead to within 4, 18-14. Here we go at 126 pounds. Zahn Beal, a sophomore for Arrowhead, and Thomas Jancourt, he's a senior for Bayports. Jancourt 1-0 after winning against Nina last night. Beal was 3rd place at the Wisconsin State Tournament last February, a member of the 16U Freestyle National Championship team. Wrestled in Fargo as well, quickly up 3-1. And he's got 2 takedowns in the first 25 seconds. Looking for a roll-through tilt. Has the wrist, going to roll him through, and here comes some swipes. Man, I love the urgency here from Zombie. Just coming out and getting your offense. 10-1. You know, I love the phrase, exhaust the scoreboard. Light that thing up, wear it down. And he is exhausting the scoreboard halfway through this first period, 10-1. Arrowhead got a win at 190 from Carter Smith, 8-5 decision. And then, as I mentioned, Torres and Moody. And Arrowhead looking for another fall. This is a tight cradle here from Zombie. This would put the Warhawks out in front. 30 seconds left in this first period. Tight cradle here for Beal. Readjusts. Has that knee in the side. Short time in this first period. And Jancourt able to fight out of that cradle, and that was tight. So 4 near fall makes it 14-1, and that will be the score to the second period. I'm impressed. Of course, in dual meet wrestling, every single point matters. Again, these two met at Team State in the state semifinals, and it was a 1-point match. Everything matters. So Jancourt down 14-1, but instead of getting pinned, he'll give up the tech fall. So we'll see how it all plays out. 16-1. Zombie gives the Warhawks 3 straight victories. Arrowhead with momentum, and they take the lead 19-18 midway through the first half, or midway through this dual meet. And Beal came out on fire. A couple of really quick takedowns, had that cradle. A lot of talents, just a sophomore. £132. Braden Bergman, a freshman for Arrowhead. And Aloysius Schlumpf, a senior, with a record of 1-0. He is a 3-time state place winner. He was 4th as a freshman at 113, another 4th place podium finish at 120 as a sophomore. Last year at 126, he was 5th. And again, up a weight class, now at 132. Bergman and Schlumpf. Good slide by right there from Bergman, and he takes the lead 3-0. Good start for Bergman. Bergman, part of the Wisconsin national team. Good arm chop. That was a slick takedown off that slide by ankle pick. And kicking away, Schlumpf is on the board. It's a 3-1 match. Big match in this dual meet here at 132, 40 seconds left. Mentioned Arrowhead, another guy that comes to mind, Andrew Crone, wrestled for Wisconsin. They've had a lot of hammers come out of Arrowhead. Inside of 30 seconds and out of bounds. Schlumpf was close. But close doesn't get you points on the scoreboard. Back to the center, 23 seconds. Crowd into this match. Collar tie there from the Warhawk. Final seconds in this first period. And Bergman, 3-1. He's got the choice. Looks over at head coach Randy Farrell, and they want to go neutral. Coach Farrell coached at West Dallas. Nathan Hale was the head coach there before coming to Arrowhead, director of wrestling, and now he's in his second year as head coach. And here comes Schlumpf on a single leg, but Bergman not in bad shape right here as he rolls him through. Schlumpf improving his position. Big situation here in this match. Looks like Bergman's got a chest wrap. Looks to roll him through once again. And Schlumpf, really good wrestling. He has his first takedown of the match and his first lead. He's up 4-3. So Randy Farrell in his second year as head coach here at Arrowhead. Him and his wife Holly. 2 girls and his son Nolan. We'll see him a little bit later on. Promising freshman for Arrowhead. And Schlumpf doing a solid job right here. Gives up that first takedown. Good hard ride with 45 seconds to go. Near wrist. Sinks in an armbar. And a deep, deep half Nelson. Switches sides. Runs that armbar. Aloysius Schlumpf is looking for a fall. He's got him super tight. Center of the mats. "20 seconds left. And there is the fall for Aloysius Schlumpf and Bayport here at 132. As the Pirates reclaim the lead, now up 24-19. Aloysius Schlumpf and his top game, the difference at 132.
Braden Hamill. And from Arrowhead, Wyatt Sandoval.
Good slide by there from Bergman. That was the first takedown of the match. Schlumpf was close but out of bounds. And this was a really good sequence from Schlumpf. Stayed really patient. Bergman was able to roll him through a couple of times, but he had this thing tight. He had an armbar and a half Nelson. One side to the other. And gets the fall. That was a huge win for the Pirates. Huge win for Bayport at 132. All right, 138 pounds. Wyatt Sandoval, a senior for Arrowhead. Sandoval was a California state qualifier in 2024. Injury kept him out of the WIAA postseason last season. And this is Braden Hamill, an 0-1 junior who was a state qualifier as a freshman down at 106. Sandoval midway through this first period, leading it 3-0. He's got a wrist and an armbar. If you are Hamill, you want to pop up. You got to build a base. Sandoval running. That armbar. And the Warhawks looking to answer back here at 138. Fun dual meets here on FloWrestling Night in America. Minnesota and Arkansas, Little Rock to follow at 7 Central. Sandoval looking to put Arrowhead back out in front. Tough fight here from Hamill, and Hamill able to recover, and he gets to his belly. The forward near fall makes it 7-0. Hammerlock position. It's been all Sandoval here in this first period. And Sandoval, a takedown, a turn, and he's going to get another turn in the final couple of seconds. He gets too near fall. Make it 9-0. Really solid work in the final seconds to get a turn. Dominant first period, 9-0. The senior Sandoval will go on bottom. Sandoval works to his feet as Hamill drops in on a single leg. Warhawk there with the whizzer. And Sandoval, no escape yet. And now he's awarded the escape. It's 10-0. 1:37 to go here in this second period. Good dual meets. 24-19, Bayport leading. But Sandoval and the Warhawks threatening to reclaim the lead here at 138. We began at 190. Level change there from Sandoval. Guys ear to ear, all tied up center of the mat. Sandoval able to clear that tie and goes in on a blast double, and he is in deep and finishes that freight train double for 3 more. He's up 13-0. Sweet double leg there from Sandoval. Just lowered his level and drove through. Now he's got a half Nelson here on the edge. It's going to be a tech fall or a fall. You look at Hamill trying to get out of bounds, and he avoids giving up the fall. So it's another tech fall, 17-0 for Wyatt Sandoval.
From Arrowhead, Wyatt Sandoval.
And that gives us a tie score, 24-24, with 5 weight classes to go. Dual meet wrestling, gotta love it.
At 144 pounds from Arrowhead.
Impressive performance for Wyatt Sandoval. Unable to get the fall. There's that double leg takedown.
Commercial break.
144 pounds is coming up. It is 24-24, presented by Nike Wrestling. It's FloWrestling Night in America.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
This one has gone back and forth. 5 weight classes yet to be contested. 24-24. Wrestling fans, this is for you. Access every match, ranking, and exclusive content with your FloWrestling annual subscription. Whether you're following high school, college, or freestyle, FloWrestling has you covered with live events, interviews, and more. Don't miss a single moment of the action. It's right here only on FloWrestling. Doubleheader on this Thursday in Mequon, Wisconsin. Homestead High School, Arrowhead, and Bayport in a rematch of last season's Team State semifinal. Arrowhead won that dual meet by 1. And it is 24-24. Here we go. At 144 pounds, Cole Duchateau, a junior, state qualifier in 2024. Part of the Wisconsin national team in Fargo. Duchateau's got, I believe, a bottom leg cradle. And Duchateau has a cradle locked up. And Duchateau looking to put the Warhawks up by 6. The Warhawks have been a bonus point machine. Bonus points at 113, 120, 126, 138. And now Duchateau going to readjust on this cradle, and he will get the 4 near fall points. Goes back to another cradle. Scoreboard getting a workout. 30 seconds left. Bayport has done a really good job not giving up falls. 4 more, 11-0. And Duchateau, another roll through cradle. And this is either going to be a fall or a tech fall once again. Down to 5 seconds remaining in the first period. It will be a tech fall, 15-0.
And winner by technical fall,
Cole
15-0.
Duchateau gives 5 in the column of Arrowhead, and the Warhawks now up 29-24. Arrowhead scoring a boatload of points on cradles tonight. Logan Groyle, a senior for Arrowhead. And Miguel Magana, he's also a senior, comes in 1-0. Groyle has been in and out of the varsity lineup in past seasons for Arrowhead. Big match here. It is getting late. Magana on a single leg. Good awareness right there, creates some space. A trip and a cover for 3. The Pirate Magana out to the early lead, 35 seconds into this first period. Magana also plays football. These two met in a classic Division I state championship game last Friday, Camp Randall Stadium. Magana, a 2-on-1, controlling the right wrist, has that near ankle scooped up, hunting down a cradle. Groyle works to his feet, and the Warhawk, with 60 seconds left in this first period, makes it a 3-1 match. Mentioned head coach Randy Farrell of Arrowhead and Newton Smirchek. Also on the coaching staff, Ben Bast, Eli Audley, Sean Regie, Matt Majors, Josh Engel, Bryce Trost, the team manager. And scoring the first takedown and getting the lead. It is 4 unanswered for Logan Groyle. He leads at 4-3, 25 seconds to go in this first period. The Pirate works to his feet. Groyle looking for a mat return. And solid job there by Magana to tie this match 4-4. This has been a fun opening period. Both guys with a takedown. Here's a late attack in the final seconds, and just out of time. That was so close. Magana missed that one by about a quarter of a second. The Pirate will go on bottom here in this second period. I have so much respect for high school coaches and assistant coaches, the time they put into these kids. Wasting no time. Great wrestling from Magana in the first 10 seconds. Gets an escape and a takedown. Such a great time to attack. When you get the escape, go right back in. And he's up 8-4. Has that 2-on-1 once again. And there is a stall call on Groyle. This is one Bayport has to have. This one coming right down to the wire inside Homestead High School. Magana claw ride. Grabs that near wrist. 1:10 remaining here in this second period. Magana, you talk about urgency. He had it. Win the whistle. There's a stall call on Magana. Will reset with 59 seconds. Got to have that urgency underneath. Heard somebody once say, you want to find urgency, take somebody that can't swim and throw them in the water. You'll see urgency, and that's got to be the mindset underneath. Such a mindset on bottom. Of course, technique, but sometimes it's just will and some dogfight. 8-4. This was 4-4 after the first period. Magana, the quick escape, the takedown. And he is 30 seconds away from riding Groyle out in this second period. Couple of seniors tussling here at 150 pounds. Both guys have been hit with a stall call. And an escape by Groyle makes it a 3-point match. Final 10 seconds of this second period. Good match here at 150. And Magana will take the 3-point cushion to the third. The choice for Groyle, and the Warhawk wants to stay on his feet. And I think that's a really good decision because we just saw Magana able to ride Groyle. If you're Groyle down by 3 when it gets to your feet, you scored a takedown. So you know you can take him down. Groyle with a 2-on-1. And here's a counterattack. And Magana scores another takedown. Well-executed counter there by the Pirates. And now with a minute and a half, you can tell he's looking for something big. He's got a cradle on the edge. Magana looking for a fall here at 150. This would put the Pirates back out in front, and it's a fall for Magana at 150. Holy smokes! It is 30-29. Bayport back out in front. Talk about mindset. That was a dog on a bone. That is how you do it. His team needed him. And Magana stepped up in a big way. 3 3 matches to go. I love high school wrestling. Magana. Big second period. That quick escape, the takedown. Really good wrestling. Then he gets that takedown. You could tell he was smelling blood. Okay. 30-29. Wrestling now at 157 pounds. Devin Johnson, just a sophomore. And Devin Johnson with a big-time toss. A lot of talent for this sophomore. State qualifier as a freshman. He's got a barbed wire on the edge, and he's got Wes Kowalczyk in all kinds of trouble. Pins all over the place in Mequon.
34 seconds from Arrowhead.
A 34-second fall. I'm having a hard time staying up with this one. Now 35-30. Arrowhead goes back out in front. You talk about urgency. Johnson comes out, locks it up. He'd rather throw you than know you. And gets the fall at 157 for the Warhawks. 2 matches to go. Arrowhead leading at 35-30. This has been madness. FloWrestling Night in America. Big thanks to Nike, presenting sponsor. I love Thursday nights. So fun. Calling high school matches. We got some college matches, women's matches. We have it all. FloWrestling Night in America. This is must-see. Shane Sparks here in Mequon, Wisconsin. Really appreciate you joining us. Big thanks to our production crew as always. Working hard to get this stuff done on the air. I got to take a deep breath. This has been fireworks. 35-30. Falls, tech falls. Couple situations where those tech falls guys didn't get pinned. In dual meets, you can be the hero getting teched. That's what I love about it. Minnesota and Arkansas Little Rock. 7 o'clock Central Time. They'll begin wrestling in about an hour following this Arrowhead Bayport dual meets. FloWrestling Night in America. There you see the upcoming dates. And we have some good ones here on Flow. Homestead Highlanders. This is Mequon Homestead High School, the home of Charlie Millard. He won a couple of state titles. Now wrestling at Minnesota. His Gophers will take on Arkansas Little Rock tonight here on Flow. All right, let's get back to it. Down the stretch we go with Arrowhead and Bayport. 165 pounds. This is Wyatt Vargas, a freshman for Arrowhead, and Cole Bartline, he's a junior for Bayport. I believe Vargas has been bumped up to 165. Originally, Arrowhead did not have a 65-pounder, but Vargas gets the call. He's in a tough spot, but if you're Vargas, you want to go out and compete. He's in a tough spot, gives up the early takedown. Cole Bartline, a state qualifier last season as a sophomore at 157. Two-time Fargo qualifier. Began wrestling as a 4-year-old, and he's in a big spot here as his Pirates trail at 35-30. Of course, in dual meets, like we talked about, every single point matters. Sometimes you get teched, you're the superstar. But also, Your stars got to show up. And Bartline right here, with a minute left in this first period, is looking to give the Pirates a fall, and they got it. I have never seen a high school duel meet like this. This one is going back and forth, pins galore, and it's 36-35, and it's coming down to the final match at 175 pounds. What a way to start FloWrestling Night in America with this high school duel meet. It's coming down to the final match with Bayport and Arrowhead here in Mequon.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
It has been a barn burner here in Mequon, Wisconsin at FloWrestling Night in America. 36-35, going down to the final weight class at 175 pounds. Upcoming events here on FloWrestling tomorrow in Vegas. Can't wait. The next couple of days, Friday and Saturday in Vegas, the Cliff Keen Invitational. The Journeyman Uncivil War on December 12th. And before you know it, it'll be 2026 and the Southern Scuffle. All right. It has come down to the final match at 175 pounds.
And from Bayport, Tucker, Athey.
Couple of really talented underclassmen. Nolan Farrell, a freshman for Arrowhead, and Tucker Athey, a sophomore for the Pirates. Athey, last season at 165 as a freshman, finished 5th at the state tournament in Division I. 36-35. Bayport up by 1. Athey darts in on a single leg. Puts Farrell on his hip. You see Athey, he's got some height. He has got some range. Looks to get his hips underneath. Farrell doing a nice job with his defense. And nice job there from Nolan Farrell to get that stalemates. Brad Shefchek, hard to believe, head coach at Bayport. He's been there over 20 years. He's done a great job. Mark Hansen, Jack Rathburn, Joe Schluter on that staff as well, as Athey looking to finish once again on a leg attack. This time he's successful, and he leads it 3-0. Hunter Harrison, Kurt Bartline, Vaughn Campbell. Scott Heim was a state champion back in the early 90s for Luxembourg Casco. 3-1 score as Farrell escapes. Straight on shot once again. Athey gets to the legs. And the Bayport sophomore looking for a second takedown in this first period. We're down to 45 seconds. Wants to clear his head. And he's able to clear his head. And he makes the turn. And it's 6-1. Whoever wins this match will give its team the dual meet victory. This has been a lot of fun to call. Points, points, and more points. Bonus points all over the map. Athey's got an arm bar and a half Nelson here late in this first period. Tucker Athey, on the strength of 2 first period takedowns, leads at 6-1. Alec Kurtz, Brandon Monger, Tyler Blanchard, Cody LaNeve, and Alan McGuire also on the staff for Bayport. Bayport losing last night to Neenah. Quick turnaround, of course. Back at it tonight. Hey, in this sport, short memory. Worry about the next one. Move forward. Most important match, the next one. We begin neutral here in the second period. Minnesota and Arkansas Little Rock in a top 15 showdown, the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Right after this, about 7 o'clock start time. And Athey, another solid leg attack, familiar position. Chest wrap defense here from Farrell. Both these guys, solid underclassmen. And Athey does a really good job there staying patient and scores another takedown. Another high school wrestling season upon us here in the Badger State. Farrell works to his feet and good front trip. I like that mat return there from Athey as he brings the Warhawk down to the mat on the edge, sinks in a half Nelson and out of bounds. 9-1, 3 takedowns for Athey. With just over 60 seconds left, Athey will give the escape to make it 9-2. He wants to stay on his feet. Athey began wrestling as a 5-year-old. Nolan Farrell, part of the Wisconsin national team in Fargo this past summer. Wisconsin does a really good job. Wisconsin Wrestling Federation, USA Wrestling, so many great opportunities in freestyle and Greco. And both these guys taking advantage of those opportunities. Athey, freestyle success on his resume as well. He wrestled at Fargo also. Shot from space, good sprawl there from Farrell. 30 seconds left in a 7-point match. 36-35, Bayport up by 1. There's a shot from Farrell straight on, not much of a setup. And because of it, he's caught underneath. Oh, a nice shot by from a front headlock. And Athey continues his dominance on his feet. Now 12-2. And with 10 seconds left, the Pirate will sneak a leg in. Crossbody ride. 12-2 to the third. Third period. Nolan Farrell wrestling his first high school match of his career. Athey's got that range. Has a double leg and scores the takedown, 15-2. Farrell's going to be a good one. But on this night, wrestling a really tough sophomore in Tucker Athey. And Athey stepping up big for the Pirates. And now he's a takedown away from a tech fall. Looking to finish off on a double leg. And right there on the edge will get The takedown and the tech, 18-3 as Tucker Athey, the sophomore state qualifier, 5th at the state tournament last season, now 2-0. And that will give us a final score of 41-35. Good bounce back for Brad Shevchuk and the Pirates. After losing to Nina last night, Bayport knocks off Arrowhead 41-35. Bayport now 1-1 on the season. Arrowhead 0-1 here in the early going. Deciding match here at 175 pounds. Tucker Athey, a lot of offense on his feet. Handful of takedowns en route to the 18-3 tech fall. This one went back and forth. Fun dual meet to call. A lot of great wrestling. Looking forward to high school wrestling here in Wisconsin. 41-35. Fun match to call here inside Homestead High School in Mequon. Stick around in about 45 minutes. Second leg of our doubleheader. It's the Big Ten and the Pac-12. 11th ranked Minnesota and number 14th ranked Arkansas Little Rock. That is coming up 7 o'clock right here on FloWrestling. Don't go anywhere. Presented by Nike Wrestling. This is FloWrestling Night in America.
The following is a presentation of Flow Sports.
The lights are on. The future's on the mat. No hype, just proof. New names, new rivalries. Wrestling's next era starts now. FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike.
From Homestead High School in Mequon, Wisconsin, it is FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling. We saw a barn burner in our high school match, 41-35 Bayport over Arrowhead, and now it is college action, the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Minnesota comes in 4-2, ranked 11th in the country. Little Rock, the Trojans, they are 14th in the country with a record of 2-2. So glad to have you here. FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling. I'm Shane Sparks. Great crowd, a really cool night here at Homestead High School. The Gophers with 5 starters from the Badger States. Charlie Millard, a 2-time state champion right here in this building. And when you look at Little Rock, they have All-American Matty Bianchi. He was a 4-time state champion here in Wisconsin out of Two Rivers. He was an All-American last year down at 157 pounds. It was a blast of a high school match. I expect some great matches here with Minnesota and Little Rock. Minnesota coming off a tough loss to South Dakota State over the weekend. I expect the Gophers to be a little bit ornery. FloWrestling Night in America, upcoming dates. A great schedule once again, our second year. FloWrestling Night in America. Looking forward to covering high school, college, some women's matches as well. And this dual meet will begin at 125 pounds. Minnesota with an All-American in Jory Volk, a transfer from Wyoming, ranked 7th in the country. Charlie Millard ranked 18th at 157. Looking at the second half of matches, Matty Bianchi at 165. Stephen Little, an All-American for Little Rock at 197. Of course, Max McAnally for Minnesota, the All-American at 184.
And from Minnesota, Jory Volk.
So we begin at 125 pounds. Jory Volk for Minnesota, ranked 7th in the country. He was ranked 3rd. He got beat against South Dakota State. Volk from Lakeville, Minnesota, a 4-time state finalist, 3-time state champion. Was a 2-time national qualifier at Wyoming. Missed last season due to injury. 11-2 this season with 3 tech falls. Had a really good national duels tournament for Minnesota. Beat Eddie Van Treska, the All-American from Virginia Tech, a couple of times. No score, 40 seconds in. And Jeremiah Reno in his 6th year from Kansas City, Missouri. Spent 2 seasons at Nebraska before making his way to Little Rock. He's 6-2. Won the Drury Open in mid-November. No score 60 seconds into this first period. What a job Neil Arisman has done at Little Rock. They have won over 30 dual meets the past 2 seasons. Back-to-back Pac-12 Coach of the Year. It is so awesome to see, great for our sport, to see wrestling thriving in Little Rock, Arkansas. No score. Midway through this first period, here's a leg attack from Reno. See, Jory Volk's got that left ankle tied up. Probably going to get a stalemate, and we do, from Kurt Frost. Our head official, Steve Scarda, working the outside. We reset. Volk 11-2, 3 tech falls, 4-2 in dual meets. Both of his losses in sudden victory. Lost to Nick Bouzakis of Ohio State, 8-5 in sudden victory. And as I mentioned, was defeated this past weekend against South Dakota State's Brady Rorick, 5-4. This was a really big get, though, for the Gophers. Jory Volk, the igniter at 125 pounds for the U. FloWrestling Night in America inside Homestead High School in Mequon, about 25 minutes north of downtown Milwaukee. Jory Volk, the 2024 Big 12 champion. What a run. Beat the 4-seed Tanner Jordan, the 1-seed Noah Certain, and then knocked off Troy Spratley, the 2-seed, in that Big 12 final. Brother Gannon wrestled at Minnesota. He's in a scoreless match with Jeremiah Reno. And Reno with another leg attack, but Volk does a really good job to square up his hips. Reno, as I mentioned, 2 seasons in Lincoln as a redshirt freshman in 2022. He was the starter for the Cornhuskers and wrestled at the Big Tens. His 4th season at Little Rock. Like Volk, he did not compete last season. Short time, inside of 20 seconds in this first period. Reno was a 4-time Missouri State champion at Liberty High School. And Volk and Reno here at 125 pounds, a scoreless first period. Volk with the choice, and the Gopher will go underneath. Reno wrestled for the Trojans at the Pac-12s in both 2023 and 2024. He was 6th in 2023. Volk quickly working to his feet. Reno looking for a mat return. Committed ride here from Reno. And Jory Volk, 20 seconds into this period, is on the board as he earns the escape. 125 pounds already. It's been fire early on. FloWrestling rankings, you have Vince Robinson ranked number 1. He's been beat. Luke Lillidahl now ranked number 2. He's been beat. Eddie Van Treska ranked 3rd. He's been beat. Sheldon Seymour, the 4th ranked guy, 125. He's been beat. Nick Bouzakis now 5. He's been beat. Like 125, it's what makes that weight class so fun. It is chaos as Jeremiah Reno once again in on the legs of Jory Volk. Similar position to what we saw back in the first period. And again, same result. A stalemate is whistled. Yeah, 125 pounds. God only knows how that thing shakes out this March in Cleveland. Robinson beating Troy Spratley of Oklahoma State last March in Philadelphia. Vince Robinson of NC State. Illinois Prep, 35 to go here in this second period. Volk with an escape, leads it 1-0. Jeremiah Reno was a cadet freestyle national champ. For Jory Volk, 2022 U20 world champion. There's a stall call on Volk as Reno has really been the aggressor. He's been the guy firing off the leg attacks. There is a technical violation. And that is going to be a point for Reno. So it is 1-1. Final seconds in the second period. Reno will have choice in the third. And the Trojan takes a look over at his head coach, Neil Ersman. And he will go on bottom in a 1-1 match. Yeah, Jory Volk, double Fargo champion, won freestyle and Greco back in 2019. It's a familiar theme. These college guys, USA Wrestling opportunities with freestyle and Greco. It's a 2-1 match. Reno leading the 7th-ranked Jory Volk. Volk this season won the Southeast Open and the Bison Open. Southeast Open wrestled in Salem, Virginia. FloWrestling Night in America. Shane Sparks, thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday night. A huge weekend of wrestling after this. Heading to Vegas. Cliff Keen Invitational kicks off tomorrow. And Saturday, right here on FloWrestling, Jory Volk working a 2-on-1 off a shot from Reno. They both drift center of the mats. And you can tell Volk has picked up his pace. An underhook and a collar tie. Looking to take territory. Now he's in on a single leg. His best leg attack up to this point in the match. And Jory Volk is able to get this match's first takedown, and the Gopher leading it 4-2. Volk with that near ankle scooped up. Working on the edge, good awareness. You see him keeping that left toe inside the cylinder for as long as he possibly can. We're back to the center with 28 seconds. Reno led this one 2-1, but a takedown here in the third for Volk gives the Gopher the 2-point advantage. Tight waist right off the whistle. Jory Volk is really good in the top position. He's got Reno broke down flats. Good pressure keeping Reno's head on the mat. Forward pressure working a claw ride. Final seconds, the late takedown, the difference. Jory Volk and the Gophers strike first. 4-2 final. Jory Volk, the redshirt junior, improves to 12-2 this season. And the Gophers are on the board behind their 7th-ranked 125-pounder. Minnesota leading it 3-0.
From Little Rock, Dylan Cooper. And from Minnesota, Chris Cannon.
Chris Cannon for Minnesota here at 133. And Dylan Cooper gets the nod for Little Rock. It was either going to be Jackson Tucker or Dylan Cooper. Dylan Cooper gets the call against Chris Cannon. Cannon from Oceanport, New Jersey. Blair Academy, where he won a pair of prep national championships. And it's been quite the season, quite the career for Chris Cannon, I should say, now in his 7th year. He's 2-5 this season. Coming off his first dual meet win over South Dakota State's Cale Seaton, 8-1. See Cannon down on a knee. They go over with an underhook. But Cooper's got that over-under position. He's got his hands locked. We'll see if the Trojan can do anything from that position. And we'll reset with 2:16. Cannon began his career at Northwestern, spent his first 4 seasons there with the Wildcats, was a 2-time All-American. Was 7th in 2021 as an 8 seed, and 2022 as a 10 seed, another 7th place finish. Then he went to Michigan but he only wrestled in one match and missed the rest of the season due to injury. Last year, back at Northwestern, up at 141, he was 5-9 as the starter. And now his third visit in the Big Ten. Two-time All-American. It's been a really, really good career for Chris Cannon. And Cannon driving through and plants the Trojan into the mat for 3. Just really appreciates the toughness, the grit. You talk about resilience. You talk about perseverance. Chris Cannon. Cannon at the Big Ten Championships. In 2021, he was 4th. He was 5th in 2022. In 2023, he was 4th. Had 20 wins that season. And I remember that was in Ann Arbor. And I was mat side in a match with him and Jesse Mendez. It might be the most physical match I've ever seen. Cannon got the win. I mean, you talk about violence. That match was violence. Hard hand fight. You could just hear those guys, just the collisions in that match. Cannon leading it 3-0. Continues to ride. See the riding time. It's hard to see. I believe it says 52 seconds. I will do my best. I believe it's 52 seconds of riding time for Chris Cannon. Cannon looking for a cutback. And scramble there on the edge. It's a reversal for Dylan Cooper. And it's a 1-point match. 45 seconds to go here in this first period. Good action here at 1:33. Cannon's on his feet. Out of bounds. Really cool event here in Homestead High School, Mequon, Wisconsin. Bunch of Wisconsin guys back in their home state, Minnesota today. 4 or 5 starters in the lineup today from Wisconsin. Matty Bianchi from Two Rivers, Wisconsin, an All-American for Little Rock at 165. Just a really cool event. All kinds of friends and family making the trip down here to Mequon to cheer these guys on. And after giving up the first takedown, Dylan Cooper with the reversal. And he is going to ride out Cannon the Gopher to close the first. 1-point match to the second. And if you remember, Cannon had riding time near a minute after scoring that first takedown. So it was all Cannon. And then Dylan Cooper gets a reversal. And he controlled the second half of that first period. Dylan Cooper from Leawood, Kansas, Mill Valley High School. A 2-time state champion. Doing a great job in the top position. Slides a leg in. Cross-body ride. Now he's got a cradle locked up. Cooper's got the cradle locked up on Cannon. Cannon reaches for the head. And here we go. Dylan Cooper will score the 2 near fall with the cradle. Now going to readjust. And with those 2 near fall points, it is now a 4-3 match. 4 unanswered for Dylan Cooper. Goes back to that crossbody ride, leg in. And I'll tell you what, this is a really tough position for Cannon to be in. Takes a lot out of you on bottom. Inside of a half a minute, second period. Dylan Cooper's top game has been the difference. And as he did in the first period, Dylan Cooper is going to finish this second period on top. He's up 4-3.
In the third period, Green has riding time of 1 minute 33 seconds.
A minute 33 of riding time for Dylan Cooper. Gave up the first takedown, then he scored a reversal. Able to score 2 on a cradle. Riding time over 90 seconds. This is exactly where Dylan Cooper wants to be. Cannon to his feet. The Gopher needs an escape. There is a stall call on Cooper. And there's another stall call on Cooper. It is a point to Cannon, but Cooper wasting no time. A leg attack and in position to score right here. So it was no escape, no escape. So Cooper continues to build his riding time. So it's 4-4. And it looks like Cooper is about 7 seconds, 8 seconds from securing riding time. Each team does have a review. Of course, the officials can look at anything at their discretion. College dual meet wrestling, each corner has a review. If you are correct, they give your challenge brick back. If you're wrong, you don't get any more for the remainder of the dual meet.
Time is 1 minute 48 seconds.
So they made some adjustments, I believe, on the riding time. I believe I heard 1:48 of riding time. Match is 4-4, so Cannon able to tie this match as he tries to switch off the whistle on 2 stall calls on Cooper. So Cooper's got to be careful. There's a roll from Cannon. Good scramble. Of course, Cannon wants to escape and not allow Dylan Cooper to pick up that riding time. Cannon with the crossface. The Gopher in good position, but with Cooper hanging on to that left leg, he'll remain in control until Cannon gets that reversal. Cannon leading at 6-4. Good scrap here at 1:33. Cannon did a really good job in that first period, building riding time close to a minute. This has been a dogfight here at 1:33. Cannon with the 2-on-1. He's got Dylan Cooper flat. Jory Volk with a late takedown to win his match, a third period takedown. And Chris Cannon is going to score in the third period. And Cannon will have the decision here at 1:33. Chris Cannon, his second dual meet victory this week.
Winner by decision of 6-5 from Minnesota, Chris.
6-5 final. So I believe Cooper had the riding time, but Cannon 6-5 decision. So Volk and Cannon give the Gophers wins at 125 and 133.
Brennan Van Hookey. And from Minnesota, Dawson Johnson.
£141, Dawson Johnson, Wisconsin native, a four-time Wisconsin state champion from Cumberland, Wisconsin. 182-3 in his high school career. He's a redshirt freshman. This is his Minnesota dual meet debut.
Four-time Wisconsin high school.
And wrestling Brennan Van Hookey. Van Hookey, a redshirt junior from Fort Myers, Florida. And he's not messing around. He's got Johnson in some trouble, but Johnson able to fight. Great action here in the first 30 seconds. Nothing on the scoreboard, but you talk about letting things fly. Fun start to 141. Van Hookey wrestled at Palmetto Ridge High School, and he's going for something big on the edge. Gets a few oohs and ahs from the crowd. Van Hookey this season 3-1, all dual meets. His only loss was to Zeke Seltzer, 4-1 in sudden victory. .150 to go here in this first period. The Gophers lead it 6-0. Van Hookey was 14-8 last season, and we've seen him here in this first period. I mean, he's come out looking for big-time stuff. Junior Pan Am Greco bronze medalist, earned that in Paraguay this past August, and in 2024 a U20 Greco Pan Am champ. So he Greco background, a home run hitter for Little Rock here at 141. No score, 1:15 first period. Dawson Johnson was 4-2. He placed for the Gophers at the Southeast Open. And a runner-up finish at the Bison Open, going 2-1. Last season as a redshirt was 7-5 in tournaments. No Vance Von Baar tonight for Minnesota. He had started every duel this season for the Gophers, the two-time All-American Von Baar. Von Baar, 8th, each of the last two NCAA championships, 10-3 on the season. But tonight it's Dawson Johnson. Couple tough positions early on with Brendan Van Hookey. But the scoreboard reads 0-0, 25 to go in the first. Brendan Van Hookey ranked 31st in the country. Von Baar, the starter for the Gophers at 141, ranked 10th in the nation. 0-0 after 3 minutes here at 141. Good mat return there from Van Hookey. And to his feet and getting the escape, Dawson Johnson. The Gopher with the 1-0 lead early in the second. Dawson Johnson, 2024 NHSCA champion at 138. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 tonight here in Mequon, Wisconsin. FloWrestling Night in America presented by Nike Wrestling. Van Hookey with a collar tie. These guys are forehead to forehead. 60 ticks to go in this second period. Good counterattack here from Dawson Johnson, and the Gopher scores the takedown, and he now leads it 4-0. Well-timed counterattack there from Dawson Johnson. And the former Cumberland star leading it 4-0. And the escape makes it 4-1. 141 pounds, of course, in the FloWrestling rankings. The two-time reigning national champion Jesse Mendez atop the rankings. Sergio Vaga, one of those talented young Oklahoma State Cowboys, is ranked second. Last season's Big Ten champion Brock Hardy of Nebraska ranked third. Penn's CJ Composto ranked fourth, and Seth Romney is ranked fifth. Romney up a weight from 133, where he was an All-American a season ago. An escape and a takedown in the second gives Dawson Johnson a 4-1 lead to the third. The Trojan Van Hookey has choice, and he'll go on bottom. Gophers with so much great tradition. Of course, Little Rock, new program. 4-2 match. Advantage position here for Van Hookey. Johnson pinching the right elbow. Neutralizing the Trojan. If you are Johnson, you want to be careful in this position with Van Hookey and his Greco success. .110 remaining in this third period. Half shot there from Van Hookey, able to fake lower levels. Another shot there from the Trojan. Into an underhook. Inside of a minute. Minnesota began wrestling back in 1910. 3 national titles in 2001 and 2002, 2007, under the legendary Jay Robinson. Double underhooks for Van Hookey, taking territory. Johnson's got to be careful here because you don't want to pressure back in. Van Hookey will take you on a ride. Some good wrestling here for Johnson on the edge. Some really good savvy shown there by the redshirt freshman. Second takedown of the match, and it's 7-2. Down to 15 seconds. And a mat return, and that should do it. Dawson Johnson from Cumberland, Wisconsin, in his Minnesota Do Me debut, victorious here in Mequon. 7-2 decision for Dawson Johnson. He improves to 7-3 on the season. And you always remember that first one. Does it back in his home state. And it is 3 straight decisions for the Gophers. And they have raced out to a 9-0 lead on Little Rock.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
Jory Volt, Chris Cannon, and Dawson Johnson. Decisions for the Gophers as Minnesota out to the early lead on Little Rock 9-0. Upcoming events here on Flow Wrestling. You'll want to keep it here on Flow the next couple of days. Looking forward to the Cliff Keen Invitational in Las Vegas. Journeyman Uncivil War next weekend. And the Southern Scuffle to kick off 2026. 149 pounds, Drew Roberts for Minnesota. And Brock Herman, Arkansas Little Rock, the Trojan, comes in ranked 23rd in the nation. Also being introduced tonight, Jagger Reich at 149, another Wisconsin native. He wrestled for Jeff Machek and Kokona, state champion for the Galloping Ghosts. A lot of Wisconsin guys wrestling tonight. Drew Roberts, he's from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. 3-2 this season, a second duel this season. He's got 2 majors. Brock Herman from Ohio, wrestled at Brecksville at Broadview Heights, won a state title. His first season with the Trojans. Spent his first 2 seasons at Ohio State. Roberts this season 2-2 at the Southeast Open. Coming off a 4-2 win over Avery Allen. Tight collar ties. Half shot there from Herman. Herman 2-1 this season. He was 1-1 at the national duels for Little Rock. Lost to Josh Abbott in Missouri 6-2. Picked up a win against Illinois. Minnesota was 5th in Tulsa at the Paycom National Duels. Believe they took home $50K. What an event that was. It was right here on Flow Wrestling. That was a blast. One of the best events I've ever been a part of. What a great shot in the arm in November. So many great matches. Dual meets were great. I cannot wait to get back to Tulsa next November. What an event. The Paycom National Duels, in my opinion, the best thing that's happened to wrestling in 50 years. Gosh, was that fantastic. Matt Serber, tournament director, just a phenomenal job. It was so smooth. That was fun. No score, 25 seconds. No real legit scoring attempts by either guy up to this point. Just hard hand fighting. Nothing going on the scoreboard. Herman with a front headlock. And time runs out in the first. Herman last season wrestled in 4 dual meets, all up at 165 for Ohio State. He was 1-3. Spent the majority of the season at 157. He was 16-8, won the Clarion Open. His first year out of high school in Columbus, he was at 149. Big Cleveland Cavalier fan is Herman, with the escape 15 seconds into this period, leads it 1-0. Roberts was 14-9 last season. He began 8-0, won the Cougar Clash. Big win over All-American Gavin Drexler of North Dakota State, 8-6 just before Thanksgiving. Very durable for Minnesota. A season ago, started all 8 Big Ten duels. He was 2-6. His best season was in 2024. national qualifier for the Gophers. Here is Herman on the edge. Good scramble right here with Herman and Roberts. Roberts extended on his belly. Get a stalemate. Get back to Roberts. 2024 was the 23 seed. Was 9th in the Big Tens that season. 19 victories in that maroon singlet. Guy getting it done in the classroom. 3-time academic All Big Ten honoree. Pretty impressive what these young men are able to do. Division I college wrestling, getting it done in the classroom. Super impressive. And there's a stall call on Roberts. I don't think most people understand what it takes to be a Division I athlete, especially in this sport. You talk about building character, toughness, grit. Wrestling changes lives. Stall call now on Herman. So each guy with a stall call, that call on Herman comes in the final seconds of the period. 1-0 to the third. Roberts will take his turn on bottom. 15 seconds of riding time. And a quick escape. 1-1. The majority of this match has been wrestled in the neutral position. A lot of snapping, hand fighting. Pace is picked up. A couple of good scrambles, but nobody's been in great position to score. Drew Roberts, back in high school, won an Oregon State title at Crescent Valley High School. Then he went to University High School in Washington, where he placed third. Let's take a look at the headgear, I believe, of Herman. And then he went to Coeur d'Alene in Idaho, won a couple of state titles as a junior and as a senior. FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling. Get a look at Homestead High School here in Mequon, Wisconsin, about 25 minutes north of downtown Milwaukee. We had an awesome high school match earlier tonight. Bayport defeating Heartland Arrowhead 41-35. It came down to the final match at 175 pounds. That was a rematch of a Division I team state semifinal last season. Bayport won that one by, Arrowhead won that one by 1. Bayport got the better end of the stick tonight. Shane Sparks, thanks for joining me tonight. FloWrestling Night in America. Of course, last Thursday, Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great holiday. Fired up to be back on this Thursday. 1-1. 90 seconds left here in regulation. Who can break through? Hard snap there from Roberts. Now he dives in. Looking to make that turn if he can clear his ankles, but Herman's got him tied up. Roberts has the right ankle. And now he's able to turn the corner and score the 3. So this is the third match out of the 4 where the Gophers have found a way in the third period. Saw it from Volk and Cannon. And Roberts looking to keep this Minnesota train rolling. Figured Minnesota would come in a little bit ticked off tonight. They lost 18-14 and tough loss against the Jackrabbits. At heavyweight, Hopke gave up a late reversal, I believe some back points as well, and South Dakota State got it done. behind former Gopher great Damian Hahn, who's just done a great job in Brookings. He was at Cornell for all those years as an assistant under Rob Cole and took over for Chris Bona, who went to Wisconsin. There's a nice roll from Herman, but anticipated by Roberts. Roberts stays right with him, tight waist, down to 10 seconds. And Drew Roberts will give the Gophers another decision as they find a way once again in the third.
Final score, decision 5-1.
And with the riding time point, Drew Roberts, a 5-1 decision. And Roberts, the redshirt senior, improves to 4-2 this season.
At 157 pounds, from Little Rock, Javon Jones.
And a big match here at 157. Charlie Millard from right here in Mequon won a lot of matches at this high school. He's back home, ranked 18th in the nation, the redshirt freshman. Here at Mequon Homestead High School, was a 4-time medalist, 3-time finalist, won state titles as a junior and as a senior. Multiple-time Fargo All-American, represented Team USA at the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. And off to a really solid start. He's 11-2, 6 bonus point victories, claiming titles at both the Southeast and the Bison Opens. Last season as a redshirt, he was 13-2. He did wrestle in one duel. Wrestled in Minnesota's duel against South Dakota State. He beat Kobe Seabrook 10-3. Ranked matchup here at 157. Javon Jones in his 7th year. Ohio native. Started 3 seasons at Northern Illinois. Didn't compete last season. Top 4 at the MAC championships on 3 separate occasions. Jones spent his first 6 seasons between 141 and 149. He's had a solid career, over 50 wins in his career. He's working a 2-on-1 on the Gopher, 10 seconds. Under 2 minutes in this first period. Minnesota leading it 12-0, 4 straight decisions. Javon Jones 3-4 in the season, 0-3 in duels. Wrestled for Little Rock in a couple matches at the National Duels in Tulsa. Lost to Illinois' Cannon Webster 7-3 and Seth Mendoza of Missouri 11-3. Had a really good Tiger-style invite in Columbia. He lost his first round and came back and battled all the way back to get the next best thing. He took 3rd. His only loss there was to Stony Buell of Purdue, 9-7. No score, 40 seconds left. Charlie Millard of Minnesota back in his home gym here in Mequon. Millard this season 4-2 in duels. Coming off a loss to Cale Swenson of the Jackrabbits 7-5. His other loss was to Ohio State's Brandon Cannon 18-8. Cannon has looked phenomenal for Ohio State. 10 seconds in this first period. The young redshirt freshman Charlie Millard and the 7th year Javon Jones. No score after 3 minutes. I'm sure Ben Askren watching tonight saw his brother Max here earlier. All of us continue to think about Ben Askren. What an inspiration. He's had a hand on so many of these guys that are now wrestling in Division I and other college ranks as well. So Ben, keep getting better. What a story. Again, talk about perseverance, being resilient. Some scary stuff, but getting better every day. Always good to see Max as well. An escape for Jones, 1-0. Ben Askren, one of the strongest people that's ever put his hands on me. He grabbed me once, barely grabbed me, knocked the wind out of me. But I will say this about Ben. To this day, I'm 50 years old. He is the worst driver I've ever driven with. Holy man. I'm sure he's gotten better. This is going back some time. Remember, once we were in Arizona, sun-kissed kids. This has got to be, I don't know, 15 years ago at least. As Millard with an opportunity, trying to suck up a single leg on the edge. And we remain not having a takedown. But yeah, Ben asked me if I wanted to go out for Mexican. Said, sure, I'll go. Him and his mom, Michelle, they come and pick me up. And I should have known he had a Prius, and looked like it had been, it was beat up, let's just say this. And I remember that ride to the Mexican restaurant, I was scared for real. So every other time I've been in a vehicle with Ben on a couple other occasions, I do the driving. 1-0. Jones with an escape with 20 seconds remaining here in the second period. He's up 1-0. So Minnesota will again be trailing going to a third period, but this is where they've won the matches. Minnesota, when they've needed to get the points, they've been able to get them.
Riding time is at 21 seconds in favor of Red.
So riding time at 21 seconds for Millard. And this match is 1-1. Mentioned Brandon Cannon earlier from Ohio State. He's ranked 4th in the FloWrestling rankings. Ty Waters of West Virginia ranked number 1. Landon Robidoux at Oklahoma State. He was so impressive at the national duels. Minnesota native. He's ranked 2nd. Daniel Cardenas, Stanford ranked 3rd. Antrell Taylor, the reigning national champion. He's ranked 5th. National duels. Taylor went down, reigning national champion. Vincent Robinson got beat, reigning national champion. Max McAnally got beat by Aiden Sinclair. McAnally not a reigning national champion, but at that point was ranked number 1. And A.J. Ferrari at heavyweight was ranked number 1, I believe. 4 number 1s went down. That was a wild couple of days in Tulsa as they send Javon Jones back to the Arkansas Little Rock corner. Blood time. 1-1 match, 50 seconds to go. Here at 157 with 18th ranked Charlie Millard and 25th ranked Javon Jones. Mentioned Minnesota with so much history. Been wrestling for over a century. Those 3 national titles, also Big Ten tournament titles, 12. Their first in 1910, most recently in 2007. The last year they won the national title. When I think of Minnesota, of course, you got to think about Jay Robinson. What a legend. Each guy with an escape. We are down to 30 seconds. Riding time and on factor here in this third period. And Javon Jones is behind Millard. Millard rolls, but Javon Jones, 10 seconds left, looking for the winning takedown. Millard trying to hang on and force sudden victory. Jones makes an adjustment. And now Millard is head high in the scramble. And we are going to sudden victory here at 157. 2 minutes on the clock. Jones was behind Millard and just couldn't bring the Gopher down to the mat. At this level, these guys continue to wrestle. Nothing is given easily. I mean, he had Millard 99% dead to rights. But credit Millard, stayed poised. The tension of the match rose, his anxiety lowered, and here's another situation. A scramble. Javon Jones in better position here, and Javon Jones, the Trojan, with the upset win at 157, ruining the homecoming of Charlie Millard, and Little Rock is on the board. Another hard-fought match in this dual meets, but this time it is Little Rock that finds a way. Gives us a team score of Minnesota 12 and Little Rock, Arkansas 3. Big win for Javon Jones.
Matty Bianchi.
Believe that is his first dual meet victory in the Trojan singlets.
And from Minnesota, a three-time Wisconsin State champion at Stanley Boyd High School, Blaine Brenner.
A couple of Wisconsin prep superstars set to toe the line here at 165. Blaine Brenner for Minnesota, Matty Bianchi for Arkansas Little Rock. Blaine Brenner, a redshirt senior from Stanley, Wisconsin, was a three-time state champion at Stanley Boyd High School. Matty Bianchi, a four-time Wisconsin state champion at Two Rivers High School. Brenner comes in 3-1 this season. All bonus point victories up at 174. His first duel of the season for Minnesota. The last time he wrestled in a dual meet for the Gophers was back in February of 2024 when he lost to Dean Hamady, then of Wisconsin. Bianchi off to a good start, 3-0, one major decision. Had a really good battle with another four-time Wisconsin state champion at the national duels, Braden Scholes of Illinois. He beat Scholes 4-1. Scholes was a four-time Wisconsin state champion at Kewaskum. No score here, a minute 10 into this first period. Matty Bianchi, an All-American in Philadelphia, was the 11th seed. He lost to Antrell Taylor 4-3, the eventual national champion in the quarters. And then to take seventh place, he beat Caleb Fish of Oklahoma State 4-2. Shot there from Bianchi on the edge. Brenner circles back in. Front headlock here for the Gopher. I did a match last season in Little Rock. Little Rock versus Oklahoma State, and Bianchi pinned Fish. Caleb Fish was tough. Began his career at Michigan State before heading to Stillwater for his final season. No score, 60 seconds left in the first period. Bianchi last season won a Pac-12 title. Made some huge jumps last season. Brenner works it 2-on-1. Bianchi with his first 20-win season, he was 27-6, 13 bonus point victories. Of those 6 losses, 5 to All-Americans. Brenner spent his first 2 seasons down at 149. He was the starter in 2024, bumping up to 165. Went 19-14 that season, 8th at the Big Tens, and qualified for the national tournament as a 27 seed. He went 0-2. And here's Bianchi, final seconds. Single leg, but time runs out on the Trojan. And this match is 0-0 to the second. It's one thing that I have learned in broadcasting wrestling at the Division I level, almost 20 years. It's how good you've got to be to make the Division I national tournament. You have got to be so good to make that tournament. I don't care if you go 0-2, you make that tournament, being one of the top 33 guys in the country. You got to be so good. It is difficult to win matches at this level. These guys are all good. They're all capable, every single one of them. You bring your B game to the line in college wrestling, you are playing with fire. And that's what makes the great ones so impressive, the consistency. The consistency it takes. Caution on Brenner. Last season, Brenner 10-5 in tournaments. And he's a guy getting it done in the classroom as well. 3-time academic All-Big Ten honoree. Couple knee slides there from Bianchi. Bianchi to his feet, looking to peel hands. Brenner stays right with him. And they tumble out of bounds. Andrew Sparks ranked 10th in the nation for the Gophers. He may go on Sunday. Minnesota will wrestle this Sunday at North Dakota State. Bianchi again to his feet. Good mat return there from Brenner, but Bianchi just keeps popping right back up. This has been an extremely hard-fought 35 seconds to begin this second period. Both guys working really hard. I just have so much respect for these guys. I like them all. I root for every single one of these guys. Root for them all. Good sit and escape for Bianchi. And he leads it 1-0 as they collide again in a hard collar tie. Forehead to forehead. 12-3 on the team scoreboard. 7 Wisconsin State titles between these two guys. Here's Brenner. But Bianchi able to get over the top and get those ankles. Good fight. Bianchi, like Brenner, solid in the classroom, NWCA Scholar All-American. His brothers Paul and Joey both wrestled at Little Rock. And congratulations to their sister Angie, 3-time Wisconsin State finalist, 2-time state champ. She just committed to Oklahoma State. Nasa and Paul, the parents, great people. A lot of wrestling done in that living room. Inside of 30 seconds, here's Bianchi on the edge. And they give the takedown to the Trojan Bianchi. Inside of 30 seconds, right on the edge. And with the escape and the takedown, here in the second period, he leads it 4-0. Bianchi, as a redshirt in 2022, the 2021-2022 season, he was at 141. Then he jumped up to 157 for the 3 seasons. And there's an escape to make it 4-1. And then this season up to 165. As I mentioned, won that Pac-12 title last season after a pair of 4th place finishes at the Pac-12 championships. Short time in the second period. Bianchi and Brenner. Bianchi ranked 6th in the nation here at 165. And he's up by 3 to the 3rd.
Riding time advantage for Red is 29 seconds.
Brenner has 29 seconds of riding time. Talk about Wisconsin natives at 165. Mitchell Messenbrink ranked number 1. Good return and out of bounds. D. Lockett of Okie State ranked 2nd. Mikey Caliendo, he's ranked 3rd. Joey Blaze of Purdue up from 157. National finalist, fell to Antrell Taylor. the Boilermaker ranked 4th, and Hunter Garvin of Stanford ranked 5th. Good mat return there for Matty Bianchi. Bianchi is extremely physical, and he just doesn't give anybody anything. I mean, it is a 7-minute fight against this guy. Good mat awareness right now. Knows exactly where he's at as he's building riding time on the edge. His brother, Paul Bianchi, was the first national qualifier in the history of Arkansas Little Rock's program. Talked about it earlier. The job Neil Ersman has done at Little Rock, remarkable. Remarkable. And Bianchi, another return. He's got Brenner flat, and he's got a wrist. Maybe a roll through tilt situation here for Bianchi. This is just a typical Matty Bianchi performance. It is just workmanlike and gritty. Chop wood, carry water. Put the hard hat on, grab the lunch bucket, and just go to work. He's a warrior. Just hanging out on the edge right there, controlling Brenner and out of bounds. Riding time, I believe, is at 50 seconds. Arkansas Little Rock. Last season in dual meets, 17-3, 15-5 in 2024, 32-8 those two seasons. Matty Bianchi. An escape and a takedown in the second period. He takes riding time over a minute. Cool opportunity for Matty Bianchi and all these guys that are from Wisconsin to come back here to the Badger State and wrestle in front of their friends and family. Good crowd in here tonight inside Homestead High School. Good crowd. I love dual meets in high school gyms. I just like full venues. Bianchi looking for a late turn. And Matty Bianchi, the 6th-ranked 165-pounder in the country, improves to 4-0, gets the riding time points and the 5-1 decision as Jones and Bianchi with back-to-back victories for the Trojans at 157 and 165. And they have cut into the Gophers' lead. It is now Minnesota 12 and Arkansas Little Rock 6. Matty Bianchi, the 4-time state champion from Two Rivers, an All-American a year ago, the reigning Pac-10 or Pac-12 champion rather, victorious on this Thursday night here in Wisconsin. Up a weight class here to 165. FloWrestling Night in America presented by Nike Wrestling here in Mequon, Wisconsin. The Gophers lead at 12-6.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
Wrestling fans, this is for you. Access every match, ranking, and exclusive content with your FloWrestling annual subscription. Whether you're following high school, college, or freestyle, FloWrestling has you covered with live events, interviews, and so much more. Don't miss a single moment. Only on FloWrestling. So Minnesota raced out to a 12-0 lead. They won the first 4 weight classes. But Little Rock bounces back with wins at 157 and 165. It is 12-6. Here we go at 174 pounds. Ethan Riddle, redshirt sophomore from Germantown, Wisconsin, a 2-time state champion. And Gunnar Holland. He's a 2-time state champion from Comptown, Georgia, Osceola High School. Fargo All-American, quarterback on the football team. And he's able to make the turn, but Riddle skips away and keeps it a 0-0 match. Riddle, 8-4, and this is his first year in the starting lineup. Coming off a 4-1 loss to Moses Espinoza Owens. And the Gophers lost to the Jackrabbits. Riddle 2-3 in duels. Couple nice wins against Sergio Desciante of Virginia Tech. And Holland in a somewhat similar situation as he was with that first leg attack, but this time guy's got the ankles tied up, probably going to get a stalemate, and there it is. This sport is interesting, and I've always said, doesn't matter if it's wrestling, football, baseball, whatever. It's about the circumstances of the day. Sometimes circumstances of the minute or the second. At the national duels, Riddle beat Desciante 2-1 in the tiebreakers. Then he beat him the next day 15-4. Every day is a different day, different circumstances. You got to win the circumstances of the day. No score, 1:15 first period. Another Wisconsin native at this weight class is Clayton Whiting. He was a national qualifier for the Gophers last season. Came over from Missouri. He was a state champion at Oconto Falls High School here in Wisconsin. Gunnar Holland fighting those hips. Riddle feeding him hips. But now he's able to get his hips underneath, head to the outside. See Riddle there coming up through the crotch. And rolls him through. 40 seconds here in this first period. Neutral danger zone situation. And Riddle gets the takedown. Challenge brick comes in from the Arkansas Little Rock corner. So they are going to take a look at this. So that was, in fact, a neutral danger call. Neutral danger in the neutral position if a wrestler breaks 90 degrees, 45 degrees for near fall. So 90 for neutral danger, and the official will identify the color. So in that situation, he would have said neutral danger green, in this case being Holland, and then you count to 3. And if it reaches that 3 count, it's going to be a takedown. Sometimes you'll see where a guy is also already in near fall criteria at the 45, and it can be disaster giving up the takedown and near fall. So it is a really good challenge from Neil Ersman as they give him his challenge brick back. That did not take long. No takedown. So we'll bring it back to 0-0. Both guys reset neutral with 32 seconds left. Andy Hamilton listening tonight in Cedar Falls, Iowa. One of the great journalists. Part of the FloWrestling content team. One of the great guys in the sport. Die-hard Atlanta Braves baseball fan. Nobody will argue a bunt like Andy Hamilton. He loves small ball. 15 seconds. I'm just kidding. He's a Yankee fan and he hates the bunt. Short time in this first period. And this one is going to go scoreless to the second. But Andy and I will both always agree, anything can happen in sports. You never know. So Holland gets the choice, and the Trojan will go on bottom. Holland this season 2-2 dual meets. Holland up to 174 after wrestling at 165 last season during his redshirt campaign. Saw some success. He was 14-6. Holland to his feet. Big mat return there from Riddle. Well executed. Riddle this season was the co-champion with his teammate Clayton Whiting at the Bison Open after a runner-up finish at the Southeast Open. Went 4-1 in Salem, Virginia. He was 16-6 last season. Holland to his feet and driven out of bounds. Ethan Riddle, 2025 NWCA Scholar All-American, Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, all Big Ten honoree, majoring in biochemistry. Won the academic award at the team banquet. Drop down. Good job there from Riddle. If that would have reached a 5 count, it would have been a stall call on the Gopher. Riddle ranked 24th in the nation, looking for a tilt. Looking to break that 45 degrees. That was close. Midway through this period, still 0-0, but Riddle will now take riding time over 60 seconds. Hard ride here from Ethan Riddle. Holland doing all he can to just work up and build the base. That's going to be a stall call on Holland, and then he escapes. So he leads at 1-0. Of course, lurking for Minnesota is Max McAnally, the All-American. Here's Riddle. Good opportunity. Final 10 seconds. He's got a single leg treetop, but he's out of bounds. But that is going to draw a second stall call on Holland. Put a tally on the board for Riddle, and it's 1-1. Didn't have a whole lot of time. Had to go for it. But Holland, it's the right call for him. You give up 1 and not the 3. Tie match to the 3rd. Riddle with the choice, he'll go on bottom. 1:26 of riding time for Ethan Riddle as he goes underneath to begin this 3rd period. Ankle pick, tight waist off the whistle. Riddle has that left wrist and peels the right hand, and he's up 2-1. Again, keeps that riding time intact at 117. 74 pounds, FloWrestling rankings. He got Levi Haynes ranked number 1. What a career he's had for the Lions. 3-time finalist. Simon Ruiz, I saw him at the NWCA All-Star Classic. I like him. He's ranked number 2. Riddle looking to beat that right shoulder, and he's got the takedown. It's a 5-1 match. Again, 3rd period in this dual meet. Minnesota, in the 3rd period, has found a way to win some matches. Matty Singleton now up to number 3 in the rankings for NC State. Lenny Pinto, the former Cornhusker, now Scarlet Knight, ranked 4th, and Patrick Kennedy was ranked 2nd. Lost that match to MJ Gaitan in Ames on Sunday. He falls to 5th. 5-2 match. Riddle seconds away from locking up riding time, and he has riding time secured. So Ethan Riddle 30 seconds away from his 9th win of the season. Shot there from Holland. It's a go behind for Riddle. And now he's up 8-2. Looks at his corner. He's going to cut Holland. And a takedown right here would give him a major decision. He's got a single leg. Whizzer from Holland. Riddle looking to create some space. Inside of 5 seconds. And it will be a 9-3 decision. Riding time points for Ethan Riddle. It's a decision for the Gophers at 174. And Minnesota now leads it 15-6.
From Little Rock, Brock Del Signor.
184 pounds. Minnesota's U20 world champion Max McAnally, the redshirt sophomore, ranked number 3 in the country. And Brock Del Signor, ranked 24th, the redshirt senior from Ballston Lake, New York. Ranked matchup here at 184. Max McAnally from Waconia, Minnesota, 4-time state champ. He was 181-1 his last 4 years. Won Fargo, U17 world bronze. He captured that in Italy. Here is Del Signor with a shot on McAnally, but McAnally so strong. His core, he just crashes down, and he's going to win the scramble. And just like that, 20 seconds in, McAnally puts 3 on the board. McAnally 7-1 overall, 5-1 in dual meets, 6 tech falls. He's a tech fall machine. National duels, he had a couple battles. Beat Dylan Fishback 4-1. Fishback now at Ohio State, the former NC State wrestler. And then he lost to Aiden Sinclair of Missouri 6-3. Of course, this weight class is just stacked, and it's young. It is going to be a blast to watch these guys collide at 184. McAnally in his career 18-1 in duels. That was his first loss in a dual meet to Sinclair. Sinclair wrestled for Pat Yauk at Milton High School. I believe he won 3 state titles. Steve Scarda over to the head table, outside official. That's Randy Dusing there at that head table. You talk about a guy that's done a ton for wrestling. Randy Dusing has done a ton for wrestling. He's from McGuanago, recently retired from GE a couple years back. This guy, so selfless. He makes things happen. McGuanago's got the Grizzly Wrestling Club. He coached for a long time, freestyle Greco stuff. Just a great guy, and I will say this real quickly. George Martin Hall of Fame in Wisconsin. It's awesome. Had the banquet a couple weeks back, and one thing I do wish is they would induct guys like Randy Dusing and so many people that just put a ton of work and time into the sport. Here's McAnally looking for his second takedown. Holland clinging to his right leg, but McAnally trying to dig his arm, get a crossface, now trying to peel that grip. Holland's got to be careful in this position. Next thing you know, McAnally slaps on a cradle. They continue to wrestle. 50 seconds first period. Holland is hanging on for dear life. The scramble continues as Holland leg pass. McAnally's got both angles of the Trojan, and it's a stalemate with 27 to go in the first. Now, so many people do a lot of work in this sport. McAnally a year ago, 25-2, 19 bonus point victories, 13 techs. His only losses to national champs. In the Big Ten final, 8-5 sudden victory loss to Carter Starachi. And then against Parker Kekheisen, Wisconsin native. At Northern Iowa, that was 4-1 in sudden victory. That flurry on the edge, one of the best you'll ever see. McAnally was the 3 seed, and he beat Dustin Plott for third place, 6-5. 3-1 first period for McAnally. He'll go on bottom. Signor is 1-2 this season. He lost to Aiden Sinclair 15-6, so both these guys have wrestled the Missouri Tiger. It's a quick escape for the Gopher as he adds to his lead 4-1. Del Signor was 13-8 last season, 0-2 at the Pac-12s. So second year as the starter for the Trojans here at 184. Spent his first 3 seasons at NC State. Yeah, 184. Angelo Ferrari of Iowa ranked 1, redshirt freshman. Aiden Sinclair, Missouri, ranked 2, redshirt freshman. Max McAnally right here, redshirt sophomore. McAnally, slick leg attack right there on a single leg. And Holland's got to be careful right here. You don't want to give up a takedown and go to your back. Another takedown for McAnally. Second of the match makes it 7-1 inside of a minute remaining here in the second period. Rocco Welsh, now at Penn State, NCAA finalist for Ohio State a couple years back, lost to Starachi. He's a redshirt sophomore. Holland dives in. And then Jackson Smith, he's the veteran, All-American from Maryland, ranked 5th, but 184. What a weight class. Ferrari with the big win over Sinclair at the national duels. That was sudden victory. 184. That is a big boy weight class. Short time, 15 seconds. They are ear to ear. Now they clear. Fake by McAnally goes in. Throw by from an underhook there from Del Signor. Third period upcoming. Del Signor with the choice. He'll go on bottom. Talking a lot tonight about freestyle and Greco and USA Wrestling and the great opportunities. Guy watching tonight in Minnesota is Derek Sikora, works for USA Wrestling. Coached Max McAnally while he was in high school. Another really good guy in the sport. I know he's up tonight. Shot there from McAnally. It draws a stall call on Del Signor. McAnally is going to be tied up as Del Signor at his left leg. Here in Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Wrestling Federation under the USA Wrestling umbrella, a lot of success. Scott Cleaver, the coach's coordinator. Think back to before Scott, it was Mike Derone, now coaching at Lakeland, recently inducted into the George Martin Hall of Fame a couple weeks back. McAnally unable to finish. I'll tell you, Signor, he's ranked 24th in the country. I mean, not laying down. He has fought everything. It's a 7-3 match. These guys fight. I love college wrestling. Love folk style wrestling. Fan of it all, but I love folk style wrestling. It's just tough. When you're on bottom in folk style, figure it out. Find a way. Another stall call on Del Signor the second, so it's a point to Max McAnally. And McAnally gets a takedown. And quickly 4 points scored for the Golden Gopher as McAnally has opened it up now 10-3. He's got riding time at 50 seconds. (10-4) score. If McAnally can score a takedown with 9 seconds left, he'll give Minnesota bonus points here at 184. McAnally winning that U20 World title this past August in Bulgaria. He has wrestled every duel this season for Minnesota. Neil Erisman over to have a word with Steve Skarda. (11-4). Here we go. Final 9 seconds. McAnally looking for an opening. And it will be an 11-4 decision. Max McAnally. Actually, he gets the riding time, so it's 12-4. So Max McAnally gets the major decision. Bonus points for the redshirt sophomore. And the third-ranked 184-pounder in the country, now 8-1 overall, 6-1 in dual meets with 7 bonus point victories. And those 4 points on the major decision makes it 19-6 in favor of Minnesota.
And from Minnesota, Gavin Nelson.
197 pounds. Stephen Little ranked 3rd in the country for the Trojans at 197. The redshirt junior from Sturgis, Kentucky, was a 4-time finalist and 3-time state champion at Union's County High School. And Gavin Nelson, the redshirt sophomore, ranked 25th in the nation. 6-5 overall, 1-4 in duels, coming off a tough 2-1 defeat to Bennett Berge of South Dakota State. Nelson from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, 3-time state champion, 5-time placer at Simile under Gopher All-American Will Short. No score 30 seconds in. Nelson picked up his first win in a Gopher singlet in a dual meets at the National Duels, beating Caleb Runyon of UNI 4-1 in sudden victory in Minnesota's win over the Panthers. Gavin Nelson, 2021 Cadet World Freestyle Team member. Behind Isaiah Salazar last season. And Little scores the first takedown here at 197. Got a text from my Big Ten broadcast partner, Tim Johnson. He texted me, I was about to say, what? Andy's a Yankees fan, which he is, Andy Hamilton. Big part of me wanted to tell you was an Atlanta Braves fan and leave it at that. 142 here in this first period. I believe, and maybe Derek Sikora can text me some clarification on this, I think Nelson won the spot at the U23s, won the national tournament to get that spot, but I don't believe he wrestled at the U23 World Championships. He's down 3-1. Stephen Little, 2-time All-American. In 2024, he was 7th as a 9 seed. Beat Michael Beard in that 7th place match 10-3. And then as a 12 seed last March in Philly, finished 6th. Lost to Joey Novak of Wyoming 8-0 in that 5th place match. But what a career he's had for Coach Harrisman and the Trojans. 2-time Pac-12 finalist. won the title in 2024, fell to AJ Ferrari 2-0 last year. And he's looking to score on the edge once again, out of bounds. That'll be a stall call on Nelson. Score remains 3-1. But he's been fantastic. Won over 50 matches in the starting lineup. Back-to-back 20-win seasons for Stephen Little. From Kentucky. Pretty cool. High school success in Kentucky, college success in Arkansas. Love it. In 2022, Stephen Little, the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award winner for Kentucky. So Scott Cleaver helping me out. Gavin Nelson did make the U23 World Team in Greco, but did not wrestle. Thank you, Scott. (3-1) first period. Interesting note with Stephen Little. So Stephen Little, go on bottom here in this period. The first match of his career was back on November 5th of 2022. He lost 11-3 to Younger Bastida. That was his redshirt season. He was 5-1 in 6 duels, kept his red shirt. Younger Bastida, big win for Iowa State over Ben Keeter this past Sunday in Ames. Good work there from Little as he adds to his lead. The two-time All-American now up 4-1. 19-6. Minnesota leading it. Here we go. Derek Sikora giving me some clarification. He won the U23 tournament in Ohio. But if someone is top on the senior team and eligible for U23, get the spot. Josh Barr took it. And Josh Barr, unfortunately, was injured at that tournament. And a correction. He won it in freestyle. I love wrestling fans. I love wrestling fans. Joe Russell texting me the same deal with Gavin Nelson winning the U23 Nationals, but Josh Barr, world rep, as he had choice as national team age eligible athlete. Good stuff. Again, if you are listening tonight, USA Wrestling, so many great opportunities. Greco freestyle stuff just gets you better in the off season. Final seconds here in the second period. After a 3-1 lead, Little with an escape in the second, 4-1 to the third.
Running time advantage for Red is 16 seconds.
Great leadership at USA Wrestling, phenomenal coaches, the state levels, national levels. Get involved, take advantage of that stuff. Good urgency there from Gavin Nelson on bottom. It's a 4-2 match. Gavin Nelson, I saw him at the national duels, watching him perform tonight. He's tough. I think he's got a really bright future for Minnesota. And Stephen Little ranked 3rd in the nation behind Josh Barr of Penn State, Rocky Elam now at Iowa State. Came over to Ames from Columbia, Missouri. He had a big win against Indiana of Iowa. Came down to big match at 197. And Rocky Elam and the Cyclones got it done. Masoma and Dean had won 3 national titles at Wartburg before he came to Iowa. I think he was on a 68-match win streak. He's been one of the early storylines in college wrestling. He's had some big wins, and Dean for the Hawkeyes. What a great start to this college wrestling season. It's just early December. Love it. Seen some great wrestling. .40 seconds left. Riding time and on factor. Nelson has given himself a chance with just over a half a minute remaining. There's a shot on the edge, but Little nearly scored, but did not. (2025), the first time in USA history the USA won world team titles in all three age groups, U17, U20, and U23, the same calendar year. Congratulations again to the coaching staff and the organization. Final 10 seconds. Late flurry here from Nelson. But it's going to be one more takedown to put a cherry on top for Stephen Little. And Gavin Nelson grabbing his left ankle. And he is right in front of my table in considerable pain as the training staff comes over from the Minnesota corner. And hopefully he's okay. Just a late takedown there from Little. 1 second is showing on the clock. Little is going to get the win. And right now, just hoping Gavin Nelson's okay. So they will bring Nelson to his feet. That's a good sign. And the Gopher on 1 foot hobbles back center of the mat. Like I said, 1 second on the clock. They'll award the takedown to make it 7-2. They put 3 seconds on the clock. Little gives the escape. So 7-2. Yeah, Stephen Little, the two-time All-American from Little Rock, is now 3-0 on the season. And we hope for the best with Gavin Nelson. 19-9, so we'll head to heavyweight. Another Wisconsin native sent to toe the line here in Mequon. Coy Hopke, redshirt freshman for the Gophers.
They call him the greatest wrestler in Arizona history.
FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling here in Mequon, Wisconsin. Homestead High School, 19-9, Minnesota with the lead. As we are set for heavyweights, a big weekend of wrestling here on Flow. Tomorrow and Saturday, the Cliff Keen Invitational from Las Vegas. Quarterfinals tomorrow night. Semifinals and finals on Saturday. One of my favorite events of the year. Can't wait to get to Vegas. It's all here on Flow Wrestling. Coy Hopke, the redshirt freshman from Amory, Wisconsin, the heavyweight for Minnesota. Four-time Wisconsin state champ. Again, familiar theme, the opportunities with USA Wrestling. Coy Hopke, 2022 U17 world champ. Won Fargo in 2023. In 2021, Hopke, Triple Crown winner. He won Folkstyle Nationals, and then he won Greco and Freestyle in Fargo. Coming off a tough loss. He's 9-3 this season. Lost to Luke Rasmussen this past weekend, 7-4. He was winning it in the final seconds, and Rasmussen stole it late and got the W. This is Michael Gasper, a grad student from Maple Valley, Washington. He was a three-time junior college All-American at Clackamas Community College in Oregon City, Oregon. He's 2-4 this season, 0-2 in duels. And Coy Hopke gets a takedown, sinks in a deep armbar, captures that right wrist. Hopke picking up his first dual meet victory in a Gopher singlet at the National Duels. He beat Northern Iowa's Wyatt Volker 9-5. Hopke 9-3, 6 bonus point victories, 2-2 in duels. Halfway through this first period, Hopke with a takedown and riding time already over 50 seconds. Gasper, limited action since coming to Little Rock. Didn't compete last season. 2 seasons ago, his first with the Trojans. Just wrestled one event. That was the Lindenwood Open. That was at 197. With this win, Minnesota, the 11th ranked Gophers, will improve to 5-2. 14th ranked Little Rock to 2-3. Of course, Little Rock, a really young team. Nasir Bailey and Jordan Williams transferring to Iowa. And talking to Coach Harrison, he said, we got young quick. But they've competed well tonight. Super excited about their future. And again, Neil Ersman, the job he has done, just remarkable job. Him and his staff, Javier Maldonado, Albert White, Kai Arini on his staff. Stall call makes it 4-1. Neil Ersman, the 2024 NWCA Coach of the Year. Wrestled at Oklahoma State for John Smith as a student athlete. Hard to believe he's been there as long as he has. First coaching program history, hired in June of 2018. Hopke suffocating after that first takedown. Riding time over 2 minutes. Gets a takedown. He's got a stall call on Gasper. Josiah Hill, unfortunately for the Trojans, injured in preseason. National qualifier, won a couple matches in Philly. Just unfortunate season-ending injury. So Michael Gasper steps in, has an opportunity, but that's a big loss. Hopke to his feet. And he's going to hit a switch on the way down and get the reversal. 6-0. Of course, Brandon Eggum in his 10th season at Minnesota, but he's been there forever. Student athlete, 3-time All-American, 2-time Big Ten champ. Been on the staff since the 2000-2001 season. On his staff, Luke Becker, Zach Sanders, Michael Kemmerer. FloWrestling Night in America here in Mequon, Wisconsin. A lot of Wisconsin representation with the Gophers especially. And saw Matty Bianchi at 165, All-American. Got a win tonight for the Trojans. When you look at this Minnesota roster, 12 wrestlers from Minnesota, 10 from Wisconsin. Gophers last season 10-2. They were 4th at the Big Tens, 5th at the NCAAs in Philly. They were tied for 5th with Ohio State. 19th top 5 finish in program history. Coy Hopke, 10 seconds away from another rideout. Hopke, winner of the Freshman Academic Award at the 2025 Minnesota Team Banquet. And he's got riding time coming up on 3.5 minutes. A 6-0 lead for the Gopher redshirt freshman. He's got riding time locked up. Mentioned Hopke, 9-3, that lost to Rasmussen over the weekend. His other 2 losses to Cade Ziola of Nebraska, 8-7. That was at the Bison Open. Hopke finished 3rd at that event. And then his other loss to Nick Feldman, 4-2. Just a redshirt freshman. Of course, heavyweight cleared out quite a bit with Wyatt Hendrickson, Gable Stevenson, Greg Kirkfleet, Younger Bastida ranked #1 of Iowa State, Nick Feldman 2, AJ Ferrari now at Nebraska ranked 3rd and up a weight to heavyweight. Isaac Trumbull of NC State ranked 4th, and Tay Gadiali now in Ann Arbor with the Wolverines ranked 5th. Tournament rankings, FloWrestling. Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, Iowa State, Okie State, Oklahoma State 1-5, 6-10, NC State, Nebraska, Illinois, Stanford, and Michigan. Hopke's got the riding time point locked up. He's got 60 seconds to hunt down that major. I will talk to you on Saturday in Vegas. We call them the semifinals and the finals. But of course, tournament kicks off tomorrow. The Flow Gang down in Vegas. Make sure you tune in. Cliff Keen invitation. I love that tournament. Hand fight here on the edge. Hopke looking for an opportunity. Down to 20 seconds. He's got riding time locked up. He needs another point for the major. And there is a stall call on Gasper. And Hopke, with that riding time point, will get the major decision. 8-0 for Coy Hopke. And he is now 10-3 on the season.
The riding time point, winner by major decision from Minnesota, Coy Hopke.
And with that major decision, it gives Minnesota the 23-9 victory.
We appreciate everybody for coming. Stay warm and drive home safely.
Coy Hopke with a boatload of riding time. and gets the win to put a cap on this great night of wrestling here in Mequon, Wisconsin. Couple of fun matches. We saw Bayport knock off Arrowhead 41-35. It's Minnesota over Arkansas Little Rock 23-9. There you see the results as Minnesota improves to 5-2 on the season. Next up this Sunday there at North Dakota State, the Cougar Clash for the Trojans of Little Rock this Sunday. FloWrestling Night in America, presented by Nike Wrestling. For our entire Flow Sports production crew, I'm Shane Sparks saying so long from Mequon, Wisconsin.